In this video, we're going to explore John Bowlby's attachment theory, one of the most influential ideas in developmental psychology and psychotherapy. By the end of this session, you'll be able to describe Bowlby's key ideas about attachment, identify how a secure attachment in childhood impacts on adult relationships, and reflect on how attachment theory links to counselling practice today. You can download our handout on attachment styles by clicking the link in the description. If we haven't met yet, I'm Rory, the digital version of Rory Lees-Oakes, co-founder and academic director here at Counselling Tutor. Everything you hear in these videos is researched, written and academically checked by the real Rory and the Counselling Tutor team. We use a digital version of Rory to deliver this content so he can focus his time where it matters most, creating high-quality resources, lectures and training for counselling students and qualified practitioners, and supporting the counselling profession more widely. Counselling Tutor exists to support counsellors at every stage of their journey, from training through to ethical, sustainable practice. And this approach helps us do that with both integrity and care. To find out more, visit counsellingtutor.com. Let's begin with a little background on John Bowlby, the pioneering figure behind attachment theory. Bowlby was born in London on the 26th of February 1907 and died on the 2nd of September 1990 on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. He was a British psychiatrist and psychoanalyst whose thinking was shaped by major psychological figures such as Sigmund Freud, Melanie Klein and Konrad Lorenz. He is widely recognised as the father of attachment theory, and in fact it was Bowlby who first coined the term attachment to describe the deep emotional bond between a child and their caregiver. Bowlby's personal experiences strongly influenced his professional work. At the age of 7, he was sent away to boarding school, a common practice for boys of his social background at the time. But for him, it was a painful and unsettling experience. In his 1973 book, Separation, Anxiety and Anger, he described that period as deeply distressing and later remarked, "I wouldn't send a dog away to boarding school at age 7. This early experience of separation would go on to shape one of the most influential psychological theories of the 20th century. So, what do we mean by attachment? In simple terms, attachment is the unique emotional bond between a caregiver and a child, one that involves comfort, care and pleasure. Bowlby described it as a lasting psychological connectedness between human beings. He believed that our early attachment experiences shape our emotional development and patterns of behaviour throughout life. Bowlby also saw attachment as something rooted in evolution. He wrote that the tendency to make strong emotional bonds is a basic component of human nature. In other words, attachment isn't just learned, it's biologically built into us as a survival mechanism. Bowlby later collaborated with psychologist Mary Ainsworth, who identified 3 distinct attachment styles: secure, ambivalent and avoidant. Each of these patterns begins in early life and can influence how we relate to others as adults. A secure attachment is the healthiest style. Children with secure attachment feel able to separate from their parents and they greet them positively when they return. As adults, they tend to form trusting, lasting relationships and are comfortable sharing emotions. This develops when the caregiver responds promptly, appropriately and consistently to the child's needs. In practice, this might mean being emotionally attuned, noticing when a baby cries and responding calmly and predictably. Bowlby hypothesized that secure attachment develops when a caregiver is consistently responsive, warm and reliable. Children with secure attachment feel safe to explore their environment, knowing they can return to their caregiver for comfort and reassurance. As adults, people with secure attachment often find it easier to build healthy, trusting relationships. They tend to manage emotions well, communicate openly, and feel confident both in closeness and independence. This attachment style is generally considered the most adaptive and stable form of attachment. Remember, you can download our handout on attachment styles by clicking the link in the description. Now, Bowlby's work wasn't without criticism. After the Second World War, he was asked by the United Nations to write about the needs of orphaned and displaced children, and his theory grew from that work. However, critics argued that his ideas idealised motherhood and traditional family life. Governments at the time used some of his views to justify reducing nursery provision and encouraging women to return to domestic roles after the war. From a feminist perspective, this was seen as a misuse of his theory, one that reinforced gender stereotypes rather than supporting families as a whole. Despite early criticisms, Bowlby's ideas have remained profoundly influential. Many modern therapists and developmental psychologists continue to draw on attachment theory to help clients understand patterns in adult relationships, trust, and emotional regulation. In fact, entire therapeutic approaches, such as attachment-based psychotherapy, are built on these foundations. Bowlby's work also inspired a wealth of further research. In the 1960s, Mary Ainsworth and later Schaffer and Emerson expanded on his theory through detailed observational studies, deepening our understanding of how attachments form and function. In the 1980s, Mary Main and Judith Solomon introduced the concept of disorganised attachment, adding a fourth attachment style. Together, these developments have helped shape a richer, more complex understanding of human attachment across the lifespan. To bring this together, let's summarise the key points. Attachment is the emotional bond that forms between a child and their caregiver from birth. It provides a secure base for exploration and emotional growth. The quality of that bond depends largely on the caregiver's responsiveness and consistency. These early patterns often influence our adult relationships and our capacity to trust, connect, and manage separation. So, what could this mean for your work as a counsellor? You might notice how a client's relationship with you mirrors their early attachment experiences. Reflecting on this and discussing it in supervision can help you understand the client's relational world more deeply. Remember, you can download our handout on attachment styles by clicking the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I hope this gives you a clearer sense of Bowlby's enduring contribution to our understanding of human connection. Subscribe to see more counselling insights and updates from us.